hands up, inhale a little bit higher, keeping the lower ribs engaged. Reaching tall, opening the chest upwards, and exhale the right hand down to the side, and inhale the left up a little bit higher, and then start walking out to the side. If you're still on a block, you're welcome to take the block out here, or you can still keep doing the stretch of the blocking. And as you're stretching out to the side, focus the breath into your left ribs. See if you can open up the left side body just a little bit more by breathing into that area and keeping both sits bones grounded. Inhaling long, inhaling the right side long as well as the left, and slightly tilting the chest upwards. And inhaling back up, all the way up, reaching the right hand up towards the sky and letting the left hand of the exhale sink towards the floor. Inhale a little higher and start walking over towards the left. Keeping both side bodies open, breathing into the rib cage. Breathing into that right side. Seeing if you can expand even the little muscles between each rib. Inhaling up. And then if you do have a block, now take it out. And just begin to reach forward. Like you're trying to give me a big present. Nice straight back, keeping the sits bones engaged down into the ground. And whenever you get to the point where you're starting to lift those sits bones up, just place the hands on the floor and keep that nice straight long spine. Now think about giving me that gift with your chest, with the front of the chest, like there's light shining right out the front of your chest, and you're pointing it straight at me. Nice. Keeping those sits bones engaged, reaching forward, walking a little farther forward, and now releasing and relaxing back down. Relaxing in the back. Breathing into the space between the shoulder blades, opening up the back of the rib cage. On your next exhale, start walking the hands back towards you. Come up. And then inhale up one more time. And exhale the hands back behind you, pointing the fingertips towards the front of the room. See if you can make that space between your shoulders as long as possible, like you're trying to reach out and touch those same curtains with the ends of your shoulders. Yeah, and then squeezing the elbows towards each other, just slightly, just to keep it engaged. Now let's roll over the feet and come into a tabletop position. So let's start to find our alignment here and start engaging the core. So open up the fingers as wide as you can, like really wide fingers, gripping into the ground like use your gecko hands, gripping to the ground like a gecko. So you have really strong connection between your fingertips and the floor, and then especially between your index and thumb and the floor. And then think about spiraling that pressure towards the index finger and thumb, but then also spiraling your shoulders into the sockets in the other direction. So the eyes of your elbows are pointing forward. Yeah, so you should have that double spiral and really feel like those arms are strong. And then if you look back, your knees are going to be right under your hips, and you shouldn't be able to see your feet. They should align right with the knees, right behind you. And then channel into that same breathing that we did at the beginning, where you have a tense, strong stomach, but not so much that you can't breathe, and you're directing the breath into your ribs. Feel that engagement. And then start pressing gently into the tops of the feet and feel that engagement even more. And then press just a little bit harder. And then a little bit more until the knees just rise slightly off of the ground. Still drawing the belly button up towards the sky. And then slowly lowering back down and relaxing the belly and letting it hang. Feel the difference between that engaged belly and relaxed belly. And then pressing back into the feet again. Engage again, drawing the belly button up. Lifting the knees up off the ground. Keeping that strong engaged belly, and this time keeping the belly engaged all the way through the movement. Even when the knees touch the ground, keep that belly the same amount of engaged. Nice. And then keeping that same engaged belly, extend the right foot straight back behind you. Kicking into the heel, flexing the foot, pointing the toes down at the ground, really kicking back. Nice. And then inhale, that left hand right in front of you. Still same engagement in the core. The pinky is pointing towards the ground. Nice. Good. Extending just a little bit longer, reaching out with the heel and with the hand. And then if you want a little extra challenge, see if you can bring your back foot up off the floor. Nice. Breathing into the side ribs, staying connected to that long, slow breath. And releasing back down. Nice. And then inhaling the left foot back. Same thing, reaching the heel back, pointing those toes towards the floor, really engaging the core. And then inhaling the right hand forward. Feeling that long line of connection from the right fingertips to the left heel. And then checking in with that extra challenge and lifting up the back foot. If you want even more challenge, you can try closing your eyes. Nice. And then lowering back down. Good. Keep that same core engagement and curl the toes under. Keep that same engagement in the hands and the arms with that double spiraling action, and start pressing back so that both knees lift off the floor, but your hips over your heels. Keep that same spiraling action. Feel your shoulder blades rolling around the side of your rib cage. And then start pointing your tailbone up towards the sky. So you look like you're a puppy ready to play. Yep. Yeah, nice. Keep pulling the belly button away from the thighs. So you're down in this little puppy position. And then really start pointing the tailbone. Keeping the knees bent, keeping the knees in line with the feet. Really exaggerate that curve in the lumbar spine. Nice curved low back. And then extend all the way up and find your down dog. Nice. And here you can walk it out. Find any organic movements you need to loosen up. Keep that spiraling action with the shoulders. Nice relaxed shoulders far away from your ears. Still pressing through the index and thumb of the hands. You can lower one heel to the ground and then the other. You can turn the hips side to side. Nice. And then we're just going to keep that belly engaged and see how much we can use our belly to help us with our movement. So we're going to come forward all the way into plank. And when we're in our plank, we're focusing on that same engagement that we had in our tabletop position. We're pulling our hands towards our feet with our belly. Like we're trying to crumple up the mat in between our hands and our feet. Using the belly to do it. Nice. And then keep using that pulling motion and see if you can pull everything back, pull your weight back over the center again. So you're pulling back, pulling back, pulling back, pulling back with your belly until you're back in down dog. Nice. Find those relaxed shoulders. See if you can find the curve in your lumbar spine again. Point your tailbone up at the sky. Bend your knees deeply to do so if you need to. Yeah, nice. And then press up and come back to plank. Use the belly, come back to plank. Find your plank. Nice. And then use your belly to draw your way back again. All the way back, all the way back. Nice. Good. Now let's do it with legs. Let's inhale that right foot up. Reaching it up towards the sky, reaching the heel up towards the sky, but also out and away from you. Pointing the toes towards the floor. Inhale just a little bit higher, feel the stretch in the hamstring. And then we're gonna exhale, drawing our knee towards our face. See if you can give your knee a kiss. Come all the way through. As close as you can. Nice. And then use your belly to draw everything back. You're reaching your foot back up towards the sky. Use your belly to come back. Nice. And then we're going to exhale and bring the knee all the way to the right armpit. See if you can get it as high as the armpit. Really, really high up. Use that belly. And then use your belly to draw it back up. One more time, reaching towards, this time, the left elbow. Coming all the way through to the left elbow. Really engage your core. Nice long straight line between the heel and the top of the head. And then inhale up, using your belly, pulling the foot up. Nice, and let's take a little break by opening up. So stacking one hip on top of the other, bending the leg at a 90 degree and reaching that heel back. Opening up the hip flexor of the right side. Keeping your weight in both hands equally. Still reaching the chest through towards the thigh. Nice. And exhale the foot down. And lower the knees down. And sit back on the heels. And find your child's pose. And no triceps.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning. Starting to get warmer. Nice. See if you can feel your spine lengthening across your legs. Like your sacrum is falling down one side and your chest falling down the other, and everything between is just being gently stretched out. Still breathing deeply. See if you can focus the breath between the shoulder blades again. And then curling the toes under, pressing through the hands, traveling through that puppy dog position as you come up. So really think about finding that lumbar curve. Find that natural curve in your low back as you come up. Nice. Pressing really strongly through both the feet and the hands equally. Nice spread fingers, pressing through the thumb and the index finger especially. Relaxing the shoulders, letting them spiral out to the sides of the rib cage. Nice. And then we're going to inhale the left foot up. Reaching the heel back and up towards the sky, but also pushing away from you like you're kicking something away. And then we're going to draw it in towards the face. See if you can kiss your knee. Exhale in. Kiss your knee. Thank you, knee. And use your belly. Draw up. Exhale or inhale out. Kicking out. Good. And again, exhale in. This time see if you can touch your left armpit. Nice flat line between your heel and the top of your head. And use your belly and drop again. Nice. And this time to the right elbow. Exhaling the knee to the right elbow. Find that long, straight plank. Drawing the foot that's down, your right foot, towards your hands with your belly. Yeah, nice. Use your belly and lift up. Pressing through those active hands. And bend the knee at a 90 degree and start kicking out behind you, stacking the hips one on top of the other. Nice. Pressing equally through both hands. And bringing it back to straight on an inhale. And then exhaling the foot back down. And start walking the feet towards the hands. Just little baby steps with the feet. You can have nice bent knees. Nice. See if the feet are in a good grounded position. Aligning the heels with those middle two toes so that the heels are directly behind. Still very grounded through all four corners of the feet. Feel the weight shift as you move side to side. And then plant the hands. Straighten out just a little bit. You can still keep a bend in your knees, especially first thing in the morning. Make sure you're feeling the stretch across the entire back of the leg and not just behind the knee. And then pull the belly button up away from the thighs. Really strong belly. Pulling that belly up just like you did to come into your down dog. And start trying to point the sacrum down at the floor. Pointing the sacrum down, pointing the tailbone down. And then slowly on an inhale, rolling up and stacking one vertebrae at a time right over that sacrum. Rolling up, all the way up, pressing the hips forward and coming up to standing, rolling the shoulders back, reaching the ends of the shoulders out towards those curtains. Nice. So we're going to do just a few sun salutations. We'll start with sun salutation A. And the first one I'm going to do is going to be the modified version. So just check in with that and maybe watch a little more than you might normally. And then afterwards we'll go into the regular version and you can just choose what you feel more comfortable with. Okay? So I'm going to face towards the garden because it's so beautiful this morning. Lift up the toes. Find that same hip width distance apart if you've moved. Yeah. And then see if you can press just the pinky down. Nice. Now see if you can hold all the other toes up and press the pinky and the big one down. Nice, Saffron. Pretty good. Nice. And then lift those up. And then see if you can press just the big toe down. And then just the one next to it. Keeping the rest of them up. Oh, that's when it gets hard. And then the pinky. Brutal. And then lift them all up. And now this should be easy. Now place one down at a time, starting with the pinky all the way to the big toe. Nice. Good. And then kind of feel your weight going forward, maybe a little to the side, a little bit back. Feel how your quads engage as you start to change your weight, help you balance. Keep those quads engaged. So if you're leaning back and you feel your kneecaps are lifted, try leaning forward and keeping them lifted. Nice. Good. And then see if you can find that in between, that perfect balance where you're not working at all. Keeping the kneecaps lifted. Now take that same lift and transfer it up to the fronts of your hips. Find that bony point on the front of your hips. And see if you can also lift that. See if you can relax your butt. Good. So the inner thighs are really working hard, spiraling those legs, making them nice and strong, and your belly is holding your hips up. The butt works plenty. We can give the butt a break. Yeah, so just drawing everything together here, connecting the floating ribs into the torso. And then reaching up long with the head. Maybe even tucking the chin a little bit. Nice. And then connecting with the breath. Let's take a deep breath together. And exhale. And inhale. And float the hands to prayer on your exhale. And then float them up to the sky on your inhale. Reaching up, reaching the pinkies towards each other, relaxing the shoulders away from the ears. Opening the chest, keeping strength in the belly, still lifting those the fronts of your hips up. And then exhale, fold through. Folding all the way through with a nice straight back. Keep reaching that tailbone up towards the sky. And then inhaling to a flat back. And let's pause here for a moment. So most of us are going to have our hands on our shins to find a good, strong, flat back. So put your hands on your shins. See if you can point your tailbone straight back. So it's like really exaggerated, like you're trying to find that curve in your low back again. Nice straight arms. Pretend like there's a dowel on your back, like you're holding a stick against your spine. And you want to press your whole spine into that stick. Nice, that looks really good, Benji. Good, so you can have nice straight arms, and maybe even slightly tuck your chin, and feel yourself pressing the back of your head into that stick. You're really, really straight. Now from here, if your legs are straight, your knees are straight, and your quads are lifted, and you know you can check in with that low back, and you can still feel that there's a curve there, and you can still touch the ground, then you can come down and touch the ground. Otherwise, keep your hands on your shins. Take a deep breath in, feel your belly engaged. And then exhale and fold and reach the feet back towards plank. So you're stepping back towards plank. Find that engaged core in your plank. Strong belly. Nice. And then we're going to do the modified version of plank. So keeping that really strong belly, still drawing our hands towards our feet, lower the knees down. Keeping the hips in line with that line that you're making between your shoulders and your knees. Good. So now you're trying to draw your knees towards your hands. Nice. And now we're going to lower chest and chin as well. So now you can make a little tent with your hips and lower your chest and your chin, looking slightly forward. This is your modified chaturanga. And then on your inhale, you're going to press your hips down to the ground, press your toes down, and reach your chest forward, keeping a nice long neck. You can even lift your hands up, no pressure into the hands. And then we'll exhale back through to child's pose again. So coming all the way back through. If you want to focus on your hips with child's pose, you can open up your knees a little bit and leave your belly space to fall through. Otherwise, keep the knees in and just let your spine fold along your legs. And then from here, find your active hands, curl the toes under, and start pressing back up into your down dog, finding that curve in your low back. Relaxing the shoulders. And then exhale. At the bottom of your exhale, look forward, bend the knees. And you can step or float to your hands, however you feel more comfortable this morning. And then we're going to inhale and find our flat back. Really pointing that tailbone back. And then exhale and fold. And then slight bend in the knees, point that tailbone straight back, really engage the core, and swan dive up. So it's a nice straight back. Focus on your belly and on your butt. So now your butt gets to work. Reaching up, opening the chest, but keeping the core engaged. And exhaling back to normal sky. Okay, so that was your modified version. Now we'll do the whole thing. And we'll go a little faster. Inhale up. Exhale, fold the flat back. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, stepping back to plank. Still drawing the hands and the feet towards each other as you begin to lower down, keeping the elbows really close to the rib cage. Exhaling down, and then inhaling forward and through to your up dog. Pressing the tops of the feet into the floor. Engaging the core. Protect the low back. Keep your belly active. Lifting the thighs up off the floor. Pressing into the fronts of your hands. Pressing into the fingertips. Good. And then use your belly. Curl back into your down dog. Belly, belly, belly. Nice. Pointing the tip. Was that an owl?
Yeah.
Uh-oh. What was the owl?
No, it was thinking.
Oh, okay. Pointing your tailbone up towards the sky. Take a few breaths. Relaxing the shoulders. Find that spiral in your arms again. And on the bottom of your next exhale, bend the knees, look forward, and step or float to the front of the mat. Inhale to a nice flat back. Exhale, fold. And inhale, swan dive up. Using the glutes, using the belly. Opening the chest at the top. Very slight back bend. And bring it back to normal sky. Now we're going to do 2 at breath pace. So we're just going to move, each movement gets breath. So kind of go at your own pace. If you are behind or ahead of the group, it doesn't matter. And I'll just keep giving the cues at the pace of my breath. So here we go. Exhaling to namaskar. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step or float back to plank. And bring it down to chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a few breaths. Inhale, press through the feet, straight back to rise up. Exhale, namaskar. Coming right back through. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Salud. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step or float back. Moving all the way down through your chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog, using your core to come back. And breathe. See if you can find the resting position here. Find that stack from the feet to the hips, and find the stack from the hands to the hips. 2 straight lines, equally pressing into each other. And relaxing the shoulders. And pressing in through the index finger and thumb. The bottom of your next exhale, bend the knees, look forward, and step or float back to the front of the mat. Inhale to a halfway lift, and exhale, fold. Inhale, rooting to rise up. All the way up, slight back bend, pressing the hips forward, and exhale back to namaste. Nice. Good job, you guys. Okay, now I'm gonna hopefully remember what I planned. That's my goal. So we're gonna do a flow now, but it'll be slow flow, April style, slow flow. So we're going to start in chair. So bringing the big toes to touch. And you can, especially if you have